We've done this for years now. Our first year here, we had our numbers were larger, so we were able to do a little bit more work. But just because of the current roster, the active roster size, our numbers aren't where you're permissible, where you're able to do more. And so we kind of fell into this. And nowhere in the building are you going to see anything that says rookie minicamp. Okay, we call it orientation. All right. And we've talked to them about this, and it's not their fault. They're not in the same condition that the vets are, because the vets, many of them were in before the start of this off-season program. They got a 3-week head start, and so our job is to get them caught up. So that's what we're doing. So we had a long lecture with them yesterday not to go faster than 3/4 speed, and that's kind of the way we approach it. So we've had 2 good days on the field, and I don't have a single soft tissue issue with anybody. And so, as a matter of fact, we're not even going to let them lift with the veterans this week.
Really?
Yeah. So we got to get them caught up, and so we're going to use the next week or 2 to get them completely caught up. They'll go on the field with the vets on Thursday in skill development. That'll be the first time.
And
some teams bring in a lot.
I'm sorry.
Some teams bring in a lot of tryout guys.
Right.
And mainly because of where the team is now, or just numbers and all that. Not to bring in a lot of guys.
Yeah, it's numbers. We got 2 interesting ones. One I'll speak about, but no, we just feel like we're good. We've got depth. We were pleased with the results of our 8th round, the college free agency efforts that the guys did, and so we got some guys that will be able to compete.
So it's more meeting time, I guess, huh? And just talking to them about with these rookies. I mean,
yeah,
not on the practice field and telling them.
No, they're not. We're combining walkthroughs and meetings, and we got to get the fitness part going, and so it's the weight room, it's player development, it's football, it's diet, it's everything, flexibility. So we're just finding out where they are, so we can start off appropriately next week.
Anyone catch your eye? I mean, I know it's like probably combined 2.5 hours with these guys.
Well, it's hard not to look at the 4 offensive linemen we drafted and say, wow, somebody said yesterday they look like refrigerators with legs. So it's a good-looking group, yeah.
They are large,
and they're moving around pretty good. So.
And it's so different. 'Cause usually, it's not unusual to have a bunch of rookies, but you don't usually have that much invested in a orientation offensive line.
Right. Yeah, we've not had that in the past. So it's great work for them. I mean, the Iowa offensive system, the Wisconsin offensive system, probably more closer to what we do. Fresno State, Cody's well coached. Real excited about Jamon because he's just got tremendous athletic ability. So, I don't think it's going to be a long time for the 4 of them to kind of catch on to the techniques and things that we're doing. So.
Now, are they here throughout now? Now that
they're here, yes.
Till like what, late June?
They're here through the draft choices are here through the symposium, which is June 22nd. So yeah, they're here. We got them.
And so, but do you, starting next week, you mix them in with the varsity?
They're the first time they're going to do anything with the vets will be Thursday, and that is that's separate offense and defense. It's just drill work on the field. We're not allowed to come together offense and defensively until the last week in May, but I've given the vets that week off, so we will come together offense and defensively 1st of June for our OTAs.
First 11-on-11, 7-on-7.
Yes, right.
What's the deal with Sasser? Is he still
We're still doing some things, some physical testing, stuff like that. We should have it all cleared up here next day or so.
Jeff, there's this notion that running backs have been devalued around the league. Obviously, you don't buy into that. Do you feel like it is that way? And if so, what is the reason for that?
No, I mean, I would disagree with that. I mean, every year the class is different. Every year needs are different. But you can't ever say that running backs have no value. I mean, we showed that, last weekend. So. And we've shown that in the past, and this organization has shown that. So we place a premium on that position.
And obviously better than anybody, this is a cyclical league, so you have to feel like at some point it's going to come back around to people won't be calling it a passing league at some point, right?
Well, I mean, you look back over time, the teams that win football games are teams that run the football and play good defense, and then they have good quarterback play, And so that's the key to, and of course, you know, playing physical football is you know, kind of what we've been about since we got here, and they kind of get a sense for where we're going with that, with the way we drafted.
What are your early impressions of Sean Mannion? Is there anything after watching him for 2 days or having him building that you know about him that maybe you didn't?
Really, nothing different than the private workout. You know, we spent a lot of time with him. The private workout, saw him make every throw, picks everything up real quick. You know, has a good sense for learning, huddle presence. You know, he's going to be fine. He'll know what to do. He's got a good arm.
Back to that running game question, going to the fullback specifically, was it difficult to convince Zach, or was it pretty easy to kind of come in as a fullback? And kind of how do you view the value of that position since the running game is?
Well, you know, our tight ends have handled that, and you know, we wanted to have an opportunity. We wanted to create an opportunity for somebody other than a tight end to do some work in camp and in the preseason. And if you're in his position, when he got the call and we said we didn't have a fullback on the roster, well, it's probably a pretty good place to go as opposed to going someplace where you're competing with a couple.
How did you guys find Daniel Rodriguez?
Just a story. You know, a story's well documented, and wanted to give him an opportunity. So, see what happens. We're going to visit with him a little later. I'm very impressed, obviously, with his story and what he did at Clemson and what he was able to accomplish.
Were you guys very active in Collins, Lael Collins?
Yeah, we were involved in. Yeah. There were some things that we still had some unanswered questions at the time in which he made his decision, but we were involved. You know, we were told by them that we were in the Final Four, which is not necessarily a consolation, but we were involved, yes. But again, you know, had we not had the success that we had in the draft, you know, we probably would have been more involved. But no, I'm happy with the way things. I'm happy things have worked out for him. I hope things are settled appropriately, and then you know, I'm happy with what we have here.
Jeff, even though he couldn't participate physically, what did you want Gurley to get out of these last couple of days?
Well, he's in the meetings. He's learning the offense. He's killing the rehab, and he's paying attention to walkthroughs. So he's meeting his teammates, and there are a lot of vets in here on Thursday. You know, when the guys got here, so you know, he's excited to be here. He'll know what to do. He'll definitely know what to do when he's able to go out there.
No, we don't know the penalties yet, but any thoughts on Deflategate, the ruling?
You know, that is obviously a situation between the league office and the Patriots. So we'll just have to wait to see what happens.
How about Fowler? You have to feel bad for what happened to him with the
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, it seems, you don't like to say this, but you go back, those things happen, and it's very, very unfortunate. I didn't look at it. I just heard, and you know, it's tough on them, tough on him. But he's a young, talented athlete, and he'll be back.
And as a coach, obviously you've got to practice, so it's like you can't hold these guys out of practice.
That's correct. You know, it's just unfortunate. I mean, yeah, I mean, he looked like he was in 11, or heard he was in 11 on 11 drill, full speed pass rusher, and he had a problem. So, you know, our philosophy is not to put them in that position for a couple weeks, until we know where they're at.
And for about the 20th time, Barksdale, what's anything going on there?
Yeah, we've been talking to Joe. Yeah, we've had some conversations.